So we got blanks there. Set up a minimum of 3 to 5 breeding pens. Chickens, 1 male to 12 to 15 females. I said in another part there, 20 to 25. I would actually say 20 to 25 there. Turkeys, 1 male to 10 females. Okay. Some of the material would say, you know, maybe 15. But turkeys, if you got infertility, remember that boy might not be able to be making his rounds, and so you just want to kind of pay attention to that. All right. Before I give you let me give you this last little question. Should I start with adult stock or chicks? Great question. All right. Choosing your chick source. I already said this. You're going by your breeds and strains. Breeds are based on what chickens look like based on the APA standard. A strain is a distinct family line within the breed. That's where you say, you know, I have the Kardash line of bronze turkeys. All right. So that's a strain, the Kardash line. We're going to have the Jennifer Betancourt Oslorp line, WPCC Partridge line, that kind of thing. All right. So that's what that means. So I suggest you always go to a breeder. Never go to a hatchery, in case you haven't figured that out so far through the workshop. Okay? Always. And you can do this. All right? Go to the standard and say, figure this out. Do you want to produce eggs, or you want to produce meat, or you want to produce both? Okay? You want to do eggs? You got to decide. White eggs or brown eggs. Find the breed you want. Email me, bug me, I will point you in the right direction. I will send you to a farm. I will figure out how to get you connected to the breed that you want. And I will be very helpful in coaching in the sense that you say, I want a silver spangled Hamburg. They're beautiful birds. Hard to find good ones in North America. There's not many left.
Where are they from? Originally.
Hamburg.
Hamburg.
Where's that? Germany. You're excited. You ever become a master breeder of silver spangled Hamburg? Started right here at the Rocco Farm. Why not do chicks from hatcheries? Number 2, I put sex chicks or straight run. You got to decide how many. Where do I get them? Get them from Credible Breeder. Number 4, why not work from large hatcheries? Male ring, I explained that. Quantity over quality, or quality, I should say over. Number 2, no selective breeding. This is the biggest thing. Back to this. Listen to me. It's very, very important that you get this. Sharon got Delaware. Now I'm kind of putting her on the spot, but it's very, very good. I want you to make sure you hear it. You can go and get ocelots from Jennifer, just as Sharon went to Gary Sykes, who's raising the Delaware. Okay? You can always say, I got the best stock from the best flocks of the breed that I raised. Every year that you do not selectively breed, you're declining the quality of your birds 1 generation backwards every time. So if you take your Delawares and just go, throw my Delawares out, and you do not select them, you can't, 2 years from now you say, I got Sykes Delawares. I don't care. You didn't selectively breed. You have a mess. Okay? You have to learn the art of selecting by going by vigor, APA standards, and those production qualities. So that's what I mean. And hatcheries don't do that. They can't do that. When you have 200 plus different breeds and varieties of chickens, ducks, geese, turkeys, and guineas, and all the varieties, how in the world do you perfect the breed? You know all the ways I know? Because I judge thousands of chickens that 4-H'ers buy from these hatcheries and end them in the fair, and they go, my chicken doesn't look like that. Where'd you get it? Murray McMurray? Okay? So, there's no selective breeding. Letter C, no culling for undesirable traits. This is huge too. I bet, and room this size, listen, I want to ask you to confess. Some of you will not have a certain breed of chicken because it attacked you or killed your cousins when they were 3 years old. Okay? Name a breed that you will not have or you've heard people won't get because they're aggressive. Barred Rocks. Rhode Island Reds. Man, my King Tut would rip your leg off. Okay? Let me tell you something. When I walk into her Osterlors, they're 12 weeks old. When I go back, out of those 6 we selected, one aggressive male, never tolerated. He goes bye-bye. 100% genetically passed on. Aggressive, I can show you the most docile, amazing Bar Plymouth Rocks. Actually, Bob has some of them. And on our farms, and same with Rhode Island Reds. The hatcheries don't select. They're like aggressive, man, we got mass production. Got to have more chicks. Okay? That's huge. When I figured that one, I'm like, oh, why did this Rhode Island Red that this breeder has and this Rhode Island Red this hatchery has night and day different personalities? It's not breed characteristics, it's selected, it's passed on through breeding. Turkeys the same way. Now turkeys will be a little bit more naturally aggressive at breeding season. I don't care how docile he is in the fall. That kind of thing. So deciding on a breed, what am I trying to accomplish? What do I want to raise birds for, meat or eggs or both? Do I want brown eggs or white eggs? Opportunities for preservation, marketing, exhibition. How do I know if I'm a breeder type person? You kind of want to ask yourself those questions. Okay?
I have a question.
All right. I'm going to shut up. Go for it.
This is a silly question. Where do all these pink and purple and green and pretty eggs come from? That's really neat. Just what you wanted to hear.
No, it's, yeah, the Easter egg or chicken is an Americana and an Araucana. Those two breeds, primarily. And then, you know, like the copper Morans that are very, very popular right now, they lay a very, very dark brown egg. They're magnificent eggs. But Americanas and Araucanas, and there's mass confusion of what those birds should look like right now. But we have phenomenal Americana breeders in the country. Some
The colors are beautiful.
Oh yeah. There's blacks, buffs, whites, grays. There's.
Pink.
Yeah, oh, you're talking about eggs? I'm talking about the feather qual.
No.
Yeah, eggs too.
Eggs.
Yeah. Yeah, they're pink and kind of a pinkish tint to
They're
them.
lavender and they're green.
Yeah.
There's a lady.
And they only sell for like 12 or 15 bucks a dozen. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Yes.
So once you become a breeder in these standard poultry, is it in your best interest to start showing them in order to get notoriety for your breeding? I mean, should you be taking them to state fairs and county fairs and trying to win ribbons in order to have that as sort of a justification of your prowess? I know, I just, like a lot of dairy shows people do that. You know, they just drive around and take the goats everywhere to get the best in shows and reserve champions and all that good stuff.
I love the exhibiting side. I love judging. But I would do it, and this is 25, 30 years of observations, I would do it with caution. I would only, if you're going to enter birds, find the best poultry shows where high quality birds, where there's, you know, where there's good veterinarian inspections. Just keep this in mind with your flock. You can take your birds to Mountain State Fair and exhibit them, and take those birds home and catch something at Mountain State Fair and have to kill your entire flock. This is what really, really good breeders would say. Todd says, I want to show Delaware's at Winston-Salem Dixie Classic Fair. Okay? He and Aaron select all their breeders. They're top of the line breeders. Their second best birds that are still really good, they go to the Dixie Classic Fair and they never come home. He wins with them, but they know in their heads, our best birds are at home. Okay? Then you can help start other people. You keep any potential disease away from your place. Exhibition poultry has gone far the other way. Production is not even looked at. We've even shaken, this used to be called a flock inspector's book. Now it's just for judges and exhibitors to learn birds. And Frank Reese has had a huge impact on my life and picked me through that, as well as some of these guys. And like, I realized that if we're going to get these old birds, we got to eat them to keep them alive, kind of thing. Good question. Other breeding questions?
Is it a call if you decide that some of those hens you put aside are reservation document and call them too?
Yeah. Now, Pat's going to do this. Any birds that don't go in these 4 pens, she's got a layer pen over here. going to just throw those hens in there. Or she might take pen 5, these extra females, and one of the greatest demands across the United States is those backyard people who say, hey Pat, I don't want to raise any roosters. I want 6 hens for my family, which is, there's gobs and gobs of these families. I just want 6 chickens. I don't want a rooster, and but I want good quality birds. They'll sell on the average for $25 for a hen that's ready to lay. That's more than what we get processed.
If you're breeding for color, like say you got a lace bird,
Yes.
and you start culling, you can't cull too early because his feathers are not going to be laced. So how do you?
That's an awesome question. Do you understand that? So let's just say we'll change this from black ocelords to silver lace Wyandottes because that's his breed. Okay? Always, when I'm judging, when I teach a poultry judging school, you always judge and you would select, this is another way of looking at it, by type, color, and condition. Okay, so in a sense, you're only selecting type first, always first. You have great colored birds that don't have good type, out the door. Type is always first. Now when you get to silver lace, we may say, let's hold on to these a little longer and let the color develop in the breed. That's a very, very good question. You're a breeder quality, my friend. Yeah.
I have a specific question about specific colors. So is that also something that comes, like I'm wondering in our rooster development, if certain roosters develop those types of feathers?
Well,
Earlier or later, does it have to do with dominance? Because what I've noticed in our flocks, just casually, is that the roosters that are sort of most dominant first, they kind of, their bodies develop before the other roosters. I wondered always if there was something about that that had to do with even therapies.
you're talking about Delawares, right?
Yeah, like a lot of our Delawares didn't have sickle feathers,
Yeah.
or they weren't barred at all. And I wonder, do I just need to let them live a little bit longer and then those will come in, or should
Do you have a
we-
standard? Not yet?
Yeah, we
You
did.
do?
Yeah,
Okay.
we
So-
already did.
So I would go to the standard and read that tail description.
Yeah.
Okay? A Delaware should not have long draping tail
Right.
sickle feathers. So that would be part of, I'd read the description of what that tail should look like. If they don't fit it, bye-bye. But tail, I'll tell you, on your line of Delawares, what we deal with the most is the tail angle. They're too high. So you want to select birds with a little lower tail because it's a, again, we're looking for, it was primarily a meat bird when it was developed. Okay? And you want to select the birds with lower tails on. And I just was doing that with your adult birds this week too.
The turkeys, what's the ideal age for them to be, for the males and the females to be producing for breeders? Is it just as soon as they can produce?
Your best turkey breeding will be the second year.
Second. And then how many years will they usually go?
Oh, they'll go longer than chickens, I think, sometimes 6, 7, 8 years. I picked the champion blue magpie duck at the Evergreen State Fair in Seattle a couple of weeks ago, and the owner said that duck is 11 years old. He was phenomenal.